Okay, let's talk about measurements. When it comes to doing your own measurements, there's a couple of tips that will make your life easier. One is use the Myotape measuring tape. I have it linked to Amazon, and I like it because of the button feature and the fact that you can clip it into itself. It kind of makes a belt for you. Makes it easier to read. You can just look down and see the numbers. So when you do your measurements, another important tip is do it in a mirror so that you can see yourself. Often if we just look down at ourselves, we don't have a very accurate perception of our bodies. So if you do it in a mirror, you'll see that you're really hitting the right spots. So for example, you're really hitting the smallest part of your waist and the widest part of your hips. Here's another tip for you. Make sure that your feet are together when you measure your hips. Next tip, make sure that you get the widest part of your hips, which for women is typically going to be the butt, not what we think of as hips, like where the belt or jeans would end up. My next tip is make sure that when you measure yourself, that the tape measure is level. This is where looking in a mirror will be very helpful. Because if you measure like this versus, let's say it's not level, you're going to get totally different readings every time, and this is very frustrating. So make sure that you're looking in a mirror, you're hitting the right spots, and the tape measure is level every single time. Finally, when it comes to taking measurements, I also recommend taking multiple measurements every time. So that means, let's say you're measuring your waist. Do your waist and do it a couple of times, and then either take the average of what you measured, or let's say you measured 3 times and it came out 29, 29, 31. Obviously, it's probably the 29s that are right, but if you get a really outlying number, measure again and make sure that it wasn't the other numbers that were the outliers. It just takes a few seconds, just remeasure a few times, and then either take the average or throw out the outliers. The main thing with measurements is we want to be consistent in how we do it. If you do it with an exercise top and leggings on the first time, do it with that every time. If you do it naked the first time, do it naked every time. We don't want to get any numbers that throw things off or makes it seem that things are either moving too quickly in the right direction or moving in the wrong direction. We want to be accurate and consistent as much as possible.